Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Though the journey is mentioned to be from Koham to Dasoham to Soham, Ashtavakra says, forget all this, just be Aham. Just be abiding in the self. And that's what will ultimately help you. But going to that state is not easy immediately. We are used to a body, we are used to our minds, emotions. We cannot just suddenly discard all of it. It takes a while. So the path has been provided, but soon after you reach the end, you realize that irrespective of the path, this goal is to be attained. Somebody attains through bhakti, somebody attains to karma, somebody attains to jnana. Many paths are there to the same goal. And one is allowed to follow that path as long as one is progressing. But keep shifting between the ideas is not a good idea. Keep digging pits everywhere and not digging deep enough is not going to get us any water. If we want water, we have to dig the well very deep till we find water. So people keep shifting. They try one path, they don't find much success. They think the others are progressing faster on the other path. As we always see, the queue always moves faster on the other side. So we always get tempted to shift the queues, and then we realize this is moving faster. Again, we want to shift back. And this goes on and on. So the idea is that whatever path one has chosen, as Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya says very clearly, you should use these paths as ladders. Karmani chitta shuddhyartam. The work is to purify one's mind. So do selfless work. Ekagriyartham upasana. Meditation or worship is for the sake of settling the mind, calming it down and letting it focus. Ekagrita. And ekagyartham upasana and mokshartham brahma vidyayam. For attaining the ultimate freedom, one must attain the knowledge of the self. Iti Vedanta Dindima. This is the proclamation of the Vedanta. That every path has a purpose, but only it can deliver so much. Any amount of work done all our lives, both kinds, selfish and selfless, does not lead us to the ultimate freedom. It only prepares us to receive the freedom, but it does not give us the freedom. All kinds of worships, pilgrimages, reading scriptures, and adoring and praying to gods of all kinds, ultimately helps us calm down our mind and helps us focus. But it does not give us the knowledge of the self. For knowledge of the self, you must know the self, which will happen to you if you are ready to receive it. The previous chapter he kept on saying, don't bother yourself with too much of thinking and doing. It's unnecessary. Just try to be, focus on yourself, and whatever happens around you, just go with the flow. Neither try to attain it nor try to reject it. Just be there. Just be is the focus of one's sadhana. Let the emotions come and go. Let the thoughts come and go. Let ideas come and go. Let all kinds of experiences come and go. I must stay. I must be steady in my focus, in my attention to the self that I am. Like the clouds come and go. Yesterday it was cloudy, today it is sunny. But the space or the sky is not affected. Likewise, things will happen in our lives, through our bodies, through our words and minds. Good things also would happen, bad things also would happen. Depends on the situation and influences that we are going through. But even in all those situations, try to just be a witness to everything that is happening and don't get involved in any of these things. Sometimes somebody may say, that feels like a very dry life. What is the life without some excitement, without some entertainment, without some, all these ideas of emotions? It feels like a life of a stone. Does not emote, does not involve, does not engage, does not respond. I tell them, if you accept emotions as the way of life, then you have to accept both the emotions, the good emotions and the bad emotions. Just having good emotions or good feelings and good experiences and not having bad experiences is not possible. So either you accept both or you don't accept both. Both, you cannot have a choice. You can't do cherry picking. Everything will come once you ask for it. Or don't ask for it, just be. Both won't come. I know your life won't look as exciting as those who are partying around, but you also won't be as terrible as those who are depressed and having mental anxieties. Both won't occur to you. You will become a witness to your own self. And that is how you do not get attached, you not get entangled. So Ashtavakra says, don't bother too much about all these doing and meditating and worshipping and working and achieving and not achieving, rejecting and accepting. All these ideas are unnecessary trouble to yourself. Why are you troubling yourself? Just be free, don't trouble yourself unnecessarily. Sometimes people are there, they are so troubled because something has gotten inside their head. Now, how much ever you tell them, you try to persuade them that this is just a figment of their imagination, nothing like that will happen, but they are pessimists. They live in a kind of fear that something will go wrong, something will go wrong. Paranoids. How much ever you tell them, how much ever I assure them, 2 days they'll be okay, third day they're back into their depression. Because they've got used to worrying, used to bothering, used to feeling emotions. Now, if they don't feel that, they feel they are not alive. They feel something is missing in their lives because they're so used to worrying and so used to working and emoting every day. If all that does not happen and they are at perfect peace, they find it very uncomfortable. They feel that is something not real and they are losing out something. FOMO they call it, the fear of missing out. In the teenagers it is there. I want to go see that, experience that, jump here, there, go and meet people. You feel that you are missing out if you don't go. So these people who are suddenly transforming from that agyanis, who are always busy engaged in actions and reactions, when they slowly start transitioning towards this life of peace and calm and equanimity and solitude, the initial reaction is discomfort. They feel something is wrong with me. And others also will tell you that something is wrong with you. And you will start fearing that, am I going nuts? Will I lose my sanity? Am I going crazy? All these ideas will start bothering you initially. Because you are not used to this solitude, this calm, this peace. You are always used to all that restlessness, anxiety, excitement and depressions. So it feels uncomfortable in the beginning, but slowly you will get used to it, knowing that you read the scriptures. And scriptures will tell you that this is how you go through this process. This unbecoming is a very tough process because there is nothing to become. You already are that. The whole effort is to unbecome what you are not. Unbecome emotions, unbecome ideas, unbecome thoughts, unbecome all kinds of work and ambitions. That is very difficult because we are used to that so much that that alone makes us feel alive. Otherwise, we feel we are dying. But it is not so. You will slowly overcome those initial inhibitions and ultimately be able to still focus on the self and establish over there. So the idea of Ashtavakra is that you focus on the self, let other things happen. Don't bother about the other things. They will come and go. This is a part of life, part of the living. Just focus on who you are, yourself. And let other things come and go. If it comes, fine. If it doesn't come also, it's fine. Live like that, he says. The next chapter, which we are entering into, chapter 16, again talks about the same idea, how to abide in the self, how to be that self, and what are the ways to be that. The previous chapter, a long chapter, gave us a lot of practical tips, what to do, what not to do, how to live, how not to live. You can all apply all that. But this chapter straight away negates everything and says, just be the self, just abide in the self. And I told last time, the most important requirement, precondition is you should have faith that you are the self and not the body and the mind. And that faith should be confirmed faith, complete faith, not temporary, not partial. The more strongly you believe in that truth, the more are the chances of you experiencing it. So this is how he goes, and now into the next chapter, where the very first shloka, it says, Ashtavakra Uvacha, Achakshva Shrunuvatat Nana Shastranyane Kashaha Tathapi Nata Swasthyam Sarva Vismaranadrute. You listen to as much as you want, read as much as you want. Achakshva Shrunu. Achakshva means to read up. Shrunu means to listen. Vatat. Oh dear one, oh my little child. He treats him like a child on the spiritual path. That is the heart of a guru. He treats everybody as a child. So Achakshva Shrunu Vatat. Oh dear one, read as much as you want, listen to as many discourses as you want. Nana Shastranya. Anekashaha. Nana Shastrani. All kinds of scriptures. Go to enough satsangs. This guru doesn't work, go to the next guru. This satsang doesn't work, go to the next satsang. This book doesn't work, pick up another book. Keep doing this. No problem. Anekashaha of all kinds. But tathapi na tava swasthyam. Even then you will not be able to abide in yourself. Even if you read up all these things, go to different discourses, gurus, ashrams, do anything that you want, you will not attain the self unless Sarva Vismaranadrute, unless you forget everything. What is he telling? This chapter is going to be a little confusing because Ashtavakra tells two things at the same time. One is that we must know the truth. Other side he says forget everything. Forget everything. That is the only way you will attain the self. That is what I was saying. The process of unbecoming. Forgetting that you are the body and the mind. That is the only memory that we have. Every day we wake up after a deep sleep when we have lost all the memory. When we wake up, the first memory is we are the body and the mind. So he's saying, unless you forget that, there is no abiding in the self. Read up as many scriptures, go to as many pilgrimages, worship as many gods, go to as many gurus, hop as many ashrams as you want. At the end of it, you will not attain the self unless you forget everything. Forget what scriptures are telling, forget what gurus are saying, forget all. No, forget that you are the body and the mind and that the experiences of the body and the mind are unreal. Unless you forget the body and the mind, it's not possible to abide in the self. The simple example I always mention is when you go to sleep, what happens? You go to deep sleep, you forget everything. Unless you forget everything, can you ever experience deep sleep? You cannot. If you remember you are the man sleeping or you are the owner of this house or morning you did and the evening you did that, if you remember all this, then you don't sleep at all, you are awake. Your mind is active. And people don't sleep. This sleep apnea and all these issues are big issues right now. They are becoming very, very big like endemics. People don't sleep. They take sleeping pills and all kinds of things. Why? Because their mind is active. They are unable to forget all the things they have done during that day or the previous day or the previous year or what they want to do next year, next week, next day. So many thoughts are running in their head, so they don't go to sleep. And then they struggle with insomnia and all kinds of diseases which are sleep disorders. Why? Because they are unable to forget. Forgetting is a great value, great quality. Forgetfulness is a great idea. Most of the husbands forget very quickly why they fought with their wives. And next time when the wife raises the topic, you did this, did I? He'll ask. That will irritate the wife even more. Because wives don't forget easily. Women don't forget easily. Husbands, men forget very easily. Especially if they've done something which is not nice, they'll forget very conveniently and easily. That is their nature. So they're very blessed. If you have a forgetfulness, you are very blessed. Because you don't have to carry the burden of so many memories and emotions which are unnecessary. Ashtavakra says, why should the sky carry the clouds? This is not unnecessary. So forget it. As Krishna says, I am both smriti, apohanam cha. I am the memory power in people and also the forgetfulness in them. Both are because of me, he says in Vibhuti Yoga. I am both. So forgetfulness is a great quality. Ashtavakra says forget, but what should forget? Not what Ashtavakra is teaching. Forget that your body and mind and all that you have emoted through body and mind are not unnecessary, so forget them. Remembering what happened 10 years ago, who said what and things like that. There was a joke we used to hear when we were children. It seems two friends met after a very, very long time. And the first one started chasing the second one. And the first one was a little bulky and the second was very thin. So started chasing. So people said, what is this after so many years you have met? And why are you fighting with each other? Then the bulky one said, when I was a small boy, this fellow was my classmate and he called me hippopotamus. So I did not know what a hippopotamus is, but now I know, so I am running after him to beat him up. Memory of the past. In my 7th standard, that fellow said this to me. You meet after 50 years also, that inside your heart you carry that memory and all the emotions. They are fresh. The wounds become green again because they never heal. These memories are not those who heal. They always linger around there like a wound that is never healing. That is how these memories are. So forget all those unnecessary memories you are carrying in your head. Both the memories of the good things that you have done and the bad things you have done. Because all that is unnecessary burden which is of no use to you on this spiritual path. Because you need to be the self which has no memory, no thoughts, no imaginations, no ideas. It is pure consciousness. To abide in that, you have to have lesser and lesser thoughts in your head, right? That's why I said, analyze your thoughts and discard those which you don't need. Yesterday we discussed less luggage, more comfort, makes travel a pleasure. Keep less, don't hoard, not just objects, thoughts, memories, emotions. Don't hoard them, don't keep them in use. Just discard them. And if they keep resurfacing it again and again, put more efforts to discard them, saying it is of no use to me. Why should I carry this with me? It's dead weight. It makes my climb tougher. So unless you use that faculty of yours of forgetfulness and consciously put efforts to forget, like when you go to sleep, consciously you have to shut your mind down. If it starts thinking of something, you have to immediately tell your mind, stop thinking, I must go to sleep now. It's already time, it's late. You have to tell your mind. If you don't tell the mind will keep playing around with all those memories, emotions. You can't even sleep, forget about meditating. And forget about abiding in the self. If you have so many memories you carry, good, bad and ugly, it's not going to allow you to be the self. It will always come in the way. So he says, do as many external activities, read as many scriptures, go to as many pilgrimages, change as many gurus and ashrams. At the end of it all, if you haven't learned to forget all that which is unnecessary, you will not attain the self. Self will be like clouded by all these memories and ideas. But is it that easy? Not at all. I will not make it sound very easy, that it is very easy, just drop it like that. Bhagavan used to say, holding on is so tough, dropping is so easy. Why people hold on to things? You'll catch hold of a kerchief and say, I'm holding on, it is difficult, I have to keep worrying about holding and my fingers are strained. Drop it, free, be free. You think it is so easy to drop these kerchiefs? Not at all. That is why all this circus of Ashtavakra and everything, because if it was so easy to forget all the things that we have done and be free, all of us would be jnani. But our mind does not allow us to do that, because mind is thoughts and sankalpa vikalpa. If thoughts disappear, mind disappears, and mind also has this survival instinct. It does not want to die. It wants to live. It wants to continue. It wants to engage with you. So mind is struggling, its mind is fighting back. The moment you try to forget a bad memory, it will bring another one, just to keep you entangled, because that is how mind can survive. Otherwise you will reach that amani bhava. Manasoyat amani bhava graha bhavye tadagraham, says Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad. When mind becomes no mind, all the thoughts disappear, then there is nothing to grasp, nothing to attain, nothing to hold on to. All that which you think you have to hold on to will just drop off, because there is no basis for it to stay. Like the earth, if disappears from under your feet, you will disappear too. The foundation on which these memories stay are the thoughts, sankalpa vikalpa, thoughts and choices of the mind. The moment you, thread by thread, you dismantle the cloth, where is the cloth then? Thread by thread you have removed it also. Likewise, thought by thought if you discard, your mind disappears. Amani bhava happens to such people. No mind. Then how do they live without mind? They don't need the mind. They are inspired by the self, and the self makes them do whatever it is required. And if nothing is required, nothing they will do that day. Simply they sit. And they are not bored. They are not feeling we are useless today. We are not productive today. They don't feel the guilt of not doing anything today. They are happily sitting. Because today they are not inspired to do anything. They are not lazy. They appear to be lazy. But they are not lazy. They are just inactive at that time because there is nothing inspired in them. They are like a deep, calm sea. No storm, no wind, no cyclones, no tornadoes, nothing. Absolutely calm sea. That is the state which is possible only if you forget. So try to forget. So many things we forget which are good, like scriptures. We forget very quickly. How many things I have taught for how many years now? How quickly we forget that. So don't tell that you are not capable of forgetting. You are capable of forgetting, but you are forgetting the wrong things. You are forgetting all the nice things that I teach and you remember all the wrong things that you do. What's the use? Rather forget the wrong things and remember the scriptures. How many years it is now, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, these Ashtavakras and discourses. Yet we have not forgotten what we need to forget, which is our body consciousness. And we always remember all the things we don't need to remember, like our body consciousness. That is what we are all the time busy with. So how to develop this? Ashtavakra says that you have to develop that. Unless you develop this, there is no point in reading the scriptures. You are wasting everybody's time. Guru's time also, your time also, and wasting current and electricity and everybody's energies. Why? Because you are not forgetting what you need to forget. So this is a very different approach. This chapter is always, it will sound a little antithetic. It will sound a little anticlimax type to the previous chapter. That he just says so easily, he says, forget everything, be yourself. Forget, drop everything, drop everything. Once a man went to meet a Zen master. The man was carrying a lot of flowers with him. The Zen master said, drop it. He thought, I have to drop the flowers. So he dropped the flowers. Again he said, drop it. Then he thought, what is that I have to drop now? I have nothing in my hand. Then he thought, the thought that I was carrying the flower to worship him, that thought that I was doing, I should drop it. He says, okay, I'll drop it in my mind that I was bringing the flowers to him. Then he said, drop it again, third time. Now he was confused. What should I drop? Physically, I have dropped the flower. Mentally, I have dropped the attachment to the worship of the teacher. What else should I drop? He said that the teacher finally said, drop that very idea of I. That is what I am asking you to drop it. The idea of I. I am so and so carrying flowers to worship my teacher. Drop that whole idea of I. That's not easy. But somewhere we have to begin. And the first thing I always say is that remove, discard unnecessary thoughts, emotions and memories. Don't carry them like a burden, like a dead weight. Some of these dead monkeys are there. These mothers, when the babies die, they become very disturbed. They try to carry them everywhere. They don't accept, they live in denial. Many animals do that for a long time. Even humans do that. But not necessary. It says gone is gone. Bygones are bygones. Now what is the point in sitting and lamenting over it? It's over. Just let it go, let it go. Letting go is a great, great spiritual virtue. Holding on is a very, very bad thing for spiritual progress. Letting go is very important. I have written a chapter in my book called Let Go, Let God. Let go of yourself, let God take over everything. But this little I struggles because it wants to survive, that survival instinct of the mind. It does not make it easy, but it is possible. That's why many scriptures have said, it is not only here, but I've quoted one or two shlokas from other places, like from Kathopanishad it says, Nayam Atma pravachane labhyo na medaya na barhuna shrutena yamai vesha vrunite tena labhyaha tasyaisha atma vivnudite tanum swam. This Atma reveals only to those who are totally, totally interested in it and they don't want anything else. Because there is no other way to know this Atma. By reading scriptures, by listening to discourses, you don't get to know about it. The only way you know about it when it reveals to you its nature. And why will it reveal to you? Because you want that and that alone. You can't want God and world both. It won't happen. Either you ask for God or you ask for the world. Trying to have both is not possible. It's very clear. One day in Trai Vrindavan, a session was going on and Bhagavan was giving a discourse. And that day he was in a very firing mood. Somebody must have irritated him. So he was very particular about spiritual progress. He said, people are wasting my time and not listening to anything. Simply they come and sit here and shake head as if they have understood, but they don't practice. He was very furious. And that day he told very clearly, you can't have God and world both. And that really shocked so many, because all of them were, including me, were taking refuge in the fact that, we will have God also and world also. It is the best combination that we are getting by being here. But he said, no. Either you choose God or you choose the world. You can't have both. It's binary. Straight away he said. That was a shocker for many, because we want to listen to nice, sweet, soothing, comforting discourses where Bhagavan says, don't worry, world is also God, God is also world, enjoy the world, be in the world, let the world not be in you, all that. And we feel very comfortable. So I can have my car and house and family, wealth and money and luxury and vacations, and yet I can be a devotee. That's a very nice way. So those gurus who say things like that, we become their disciples. But the moment they say no, drop it, drop everything. then we find it very difficult. Because God wants all of us, all of it. He does not want to leave even an inch of space for anything else. If after having realized God, if God's wish is that you do something because of virtue of which things come to you, you are not even attached to it, that is fine. That is fine. But being attached to the world and also wanting God, not possible. See, Rama and Kama don't go together. That's what I keep telling. When Sita sought the golden deer and gave all kinds of excuses, see, mind and its trappings. What kind of excuses? Oh Rama, I never asked a thing from you since we married. I never brought anything from my father's home. I came with you all the way to the forest, not minding the difficulties. Still, never I asked you for any comfort. Whatever you gave, I ate. Wherever you kept, I stayed. First time in all these years, I am asking you for one thing, that is just get me that golden deer. I will play with it when you are away. At least I will entertain myself. What do I do the whole day? All kinds of excuses she gives. Why? Mind has been taken over by the desire. And because of that, she loses Rama. So you can't have the world and God both. Ask for God only. If God means some bit of world will come with it, let it be. If it doesn't come, so be it. Many times I tell the story in a princess story who displayed all items and asked people to pick and choose whatever they want. But one girl did not choose anything because she wanted the prince itself. Prince, I want you. Because when I have you, I have everything. What our students have taken great refuge in this great story. It means just ask for Swami. He will give you money, wealth, family, everything he will give you. No, asking for Swami does not mean you will get all of it. After that, you may not get anything, you may get everything. Depends on what's meant for you. And you can't even compare and contrast with others. Oh, he also got Swami, I also got Swami, but he got so many things, I got nothing. I got cheated. Doesn't work like that. What's meant for them, they will get. What's meant for you, you will get. But asking for God is the ultimate thing. I want God and God alone. Anything else comes with it or does not come with it, I don't care. But a lot of our children take refuge in the fact that ask for Swami, somehow if he becomes gracious to you, anyway he'll take care, he'll give you everything. But they're actually desirous of everything and camouflaging it as, I am asking for God. Because they're desirous of the world and they think if we have God, it will be easier to deal with the world. No, that doesn't work like that. Don't cheat God, don't cheat yourself. You have to ask only for God at the cost of giving up everything else. And as I said, God is the better thing always. So where is the sacrifice in it? You sacrifice a greater thing for a smaller thing. But a smaller thing for a greater thing is not a sacrifice. It is a great deal. It's a great bargain. So giving up the world for God is a great bargain. You have always attained more than that. But does it mean you live a luxurious life after that? No, not necessary. Look at Tukarams and Mirabais and Saint Francis of Assisi and Akka Mahadevis and Basavannas and who lived a comfortable life, you tell me. Physical comforts were never there in their lives. They never were surrounded by children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, edifices and bungalows and wealth and businesses. No, they were just living like mendicants, renunciates. But they were happy. And that's very difficult to understand. How were they happy? They didn't have anything, still they are happy. Shankaracharya says, Kasya sukham na karoti viragaha. For a person who is detached, how can he not be happy? Attached people are unhappy. So the idea is that forget all those ideas, forget all these attachments, forget the memories of the past, just be free, just be. And like that, Shankaracharya in Vivek Chudamani next page also says, similar thing, Vadantu Shastrani yajantu devan, kurvantu karmani bhajantu devataha, atmaikya bodhena vinapi mukti, na siddhyati brahma shadantarepi. Do whatever you want, recite as many scriptures, worship as many gods, perform sacrifices, sing glories of the divine. At the end, if you have not realized the self by knowing what it is, you will not attain moksha or whatever freedom in 100 years of Brahma also. Brahma is supposed to have a very long lifespan. One day of Brahma consists of 4 Mahayugas. One night is another 4 Mahayugas. So you can imagine it runs on for billions and billions and billions of years. He says even 100 years of Brahma like that is not going to help you get the freedom unless you know the self. Reading scriptures can only help you. But reading a board that Chikbalapur 10 kilometers does not mean you reach Chikbalapur. It only tells you the direction. It does not help you to reach Chikbalapur. You will sit down under the board, I have reached Chikbalapur. No. Another few kilometers away from here. Scriptures are like guideposts, signatures. They tell you this way, this far. But that doesn't mean you read scripture and sit down under that banner. So our idea is that, yes, you can do all that for academic purposes. It is like a signpost, guidepost tells you, you are on the right path, correct. This is a milestone, another milestone you have to achieve. But does not make you reach the destination. It helps you. It helps you navigate the world. It helps you develop some spirituality. But does not help you ultimately achieve the self. Achievement of self happens when you forget everything else, he says. Not when you remember all the scriptures. When you forget everything else. That is why I told you, some days when you are giving a lecture or a speech and you come back with no memory of it, who spoke at all? I don't remember a word of what I said. That means either you are the husband or you are the self. Because husbands say things and forget, but not because they have realized the self. They forget because conveniently they forget. But the jnani forgets everything because he has never done it in the first place, so he has no memory of it. That is the idea of forgetfulness. You just forget what you have done because you don't believe that you are the doer of it. It was done through you. And so you have no memory of it. That's a great indicator of your instrumentation. You have very little memory of it, almost none, nil. It means you are a great instrument. That moment God took over and did whatever He wanted through you. It so happens that after that when you listen or read, you say, did I write all this? Did I read all these things? When I am reading this book, this is my first impression. All this was spoken in 2020, 21. Impossible, because I never knew these many things at that point in time. So who spoke? Who did? Who explained? It all sounds so very mysterious to me now. But that's the clear indication that it was not me. So that is the idea. You'll have very little memory. The more you forget, the better it is on the spiritual path. Why? Because it is unnecessary burden which is clouding your true vision, which is covering the truth, which is not letting you see things as they are. So practice forgetfulness of body and mind and emotions and memories, not maths and science and English and history, and not Ashtavakra Gita at all. Practice some forgetfulness. Okay, the next sloka in 16.2, it says, it's on 256 page number. Bhogam karma samadhim va kuru vignya tathapite chittam nirasta sarvasham atyartham rochayishyati. Bhoga, similar idea. Bhoga means all the enjoyments of the world. Karma, all the actions done to achieve this, achieve that. Both selfless actions like service or selfish actions like your ambitions. Or samadhi, ultimate achievement of that absorption of the mind in samadhi, where your mind loses the identification with the body and the senses. Whatever you do, va kuru vignya tathapive. Vignya means, oh knowledgeable one. Janaka seems to be a jnani by now because he has already said so many wonderful things in previous chapters. So he last time he told Tat, oh boy, oh little baby, oh child. And now he says, oh Vignya, oh knowledgeable one. Even if you enjoy, or even if you are able to overcome this idea of bhoga, which is enjoying the world, karma, actions, and samadhi also, attaining that spiritual state of equanimity and steadiness, till chittam nirasta sarvasham, till your heart becomes free from all desires, even the desire to attain samadhi, even the desire to attain this, attain that, good or bad, unless it becomes completely nirasta sarvasham, all the desires are totally gone, atyartham rochayishyati, till then it will continue to enjoy bhoga, karma, samadhi and all these desires, all these things. Unless your heart is free of all the desires, you have not attained anything, he says. If your desire is even of samadhi, saying, Bhagavan, please bless me with samadhi sthiti, help me with the experience of all those things that people have spoken about, and you are desirous of it. Na aprashanta manasovapi prajnanenam apnuyat, says Shankaracharya. Even those who are desirous of the moksha do not get it, it seems. Now you will say you are totally confusing. All this while mumukshutva should be there, desire for God should be there, burning passion to realize the self should be there. You should only pray for that. All that you said, now you are telling even that desire is to be discarded because that desire comes in the way of attaining it. This is why this chapter is a little tricky. In the first sloka it says forget everything. Then you will conveniently forget all the previous 16, 15 chapters. saying I'm following Ashtavakra. No, he's meaning forget your stupid memories and emotions and thoughts of the past and worries of the future. Just be here and now. That is one. Two, in this chapter, in this second shloka, he says, even the desire to attain God will obstruct you from attaining God. Many people have developed that as a desire, right? What are you doing? Full time I'm doing sadhana. Why are you doing sadhana? I want to realize the self. Who wants to realize the self? I want to realize the self. No, you will never realize that. That very I want will come in the way of you realizing the self. That is what Ashtavakra is saying. It is so subtle now. The chapters are getting subtler. Why are you doing this? I want to please Bhagavan. I want to please Bhagavan, you will never please Bhagavan. Why are you doing this? I want to serve the society. I want to serve the society, you will never serve the society. That I want to itself is a problem, Ashtavakra is saying. Get rid of that I want. And then whatever comes your way, you happen to serve today, you happen to do sadhana, you happen to please Bhagavan, you happen to do whatever, part of the process. You go with the flow. But waking up, I make a big plan, a calendar, a schedule, and I am going to do this. At the end of Bhagavan will be very happy. It's for primary school children, all those methods. Because they don't understand, they need some discipline in life. So we want to tell them, you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things today. You might follow a schedule, a time, a calendar. Otherwise, you will not attain anything at the end of the day. But for the real seeker, this idea of I want should disappear is what he's saying. Any desire should disappear. There should not be any desire left in the heart. If any desire is left, including the desire of realizing God, that comes in the way of realization of God. Because that I want is the problem. I want peace, Bhagavan used to say. Remove I, remove want, all you have is peace. Like that I want God. Remove I, remove want, all you have is God. This I want is also the problem. So why are you all sitting in this hall? I want to learn Ashtavakra Gita. Theoretically you will learn. Practically you won't. Why? Because I want is there in that learning. You just come as surrendered, empty, free instruments of God. Sit there. If something has to happen, magic will happen. If nothing happens also, you don't go back crestfallen, irritated, frustrated, disappointed. Nothing happens. Fine, whatever comes today, it is His wish. Who am I to ask or demand or cry or pray? Let us be. Let it be. Let us just be. We have got the opportunity. We are sitting in the same hall listening to this great speech on Ashtavakra with like-minded people. That itself is my joy. Beyond that, did you experience anything yesterday when you went to your room? Did you meditate and you realized the self? Oh yes, I had a wonderful experience. That's it. This fellow is crestfallen, disappointed, depressed. Oh, he realized the self. I didn't realize till date. I must realize the self. I will increase my intensity of sadhana from today. I will stop eating, stop drinking, stop breathing. They'll come up with such ideas. Because that I want is so strong that it must happen today. I will tell you on one side, what's the use of another day when you have not realized God? It's a wasted day. Correct? It's a wasted day. So what should I do, you will ask. I will tell do more sadhana. So then you will take it as, oh, sadhana means I need to chant more, I need to read more, I need to meditate more, I need to... No. Forget everything and just be. That is the sadhana you do. Don't carry unnecessary thoughts in your head. That is the sadhana you do. You don't have to starve yourself. But don't be insistent that I want to eat this only and I won't eat anything else. Get rid of that. You don't have to lose sleep, stay awake midnight meditations. Not required. Sleep when you need to sleep, but sleep peacefully, forgetting everything. So that you wake up fresh and again you are ready for God to do whatever He wants through you. That idea is what Ashtavakra is saying. He's saying that even an iota of desire in you, whatever its kind, will come in the way of you knowing the self. In fact, the desire will slowly grow and make it even more exceedingly interested. Make you interested in the world. Because it has its own way. It is a very, very clever thing. A desire is a very clever thing. It knows how to trap, how to make you feel that what it is telling you is the right thing. Like Sita's desire. Even she scolded Lakshmana. And Lakshmana said, Rama is God, nothing will happen to him, you know better than me. Why are you worried that somebody will kill Rama? He has told me to guard you, I shall not leave you. Then she says, oh, you have developed bad ideas about me. You have developed desire for me. That is why you are okay if your brother dies. When Lakshmana hears that, he says, I treat you like my mother. How could you even say things like this? But under the influence of desire. Then Lakshmana says, okay, at least I will draw a Lakshmana Rekha. Please don't cross this. Minimum you do is this. I can't hear such terrible words from you. So he leaves. The idea is desire. Makes you say things, terrible things. Makes you do terrible things. Makes you think terrible things. That is the problem with desire. But it makes you feel as if you are right. It also very easily justifies, devil's advocate. Justifies everything. Why you are not wrong. Why it was to be done so. But you know deep in your heart, if there was even this much attachment to what you are doing, it was wrong only. But you will try to shut up your consciousness or whatever, your conscience, and try to ignore it and justify your actions. Many beautiful shlokas on this same idea come from many other places, like Bhagavad Gita itself in the second chapter. Arjuna asks, Sthita Prajnasya kya bhasha? What is the nature of the Sthita Prajnas? Those who are absolutely steady in their wisdom. And he says, Samadhis tasya keshavad, who are always in the state of samadhi. I'll explain that. Sitadi kim prabhasheta kima asita vrajeta kim. The people of steady mind, how do they speak, walk, talk, move around? Because they seem to know nothing. They have no memory of anything. Then how do they even behave in the world? How do they conduct themselves? And Krishna answers Arjuna, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmanyeva atmana tushta sthita prajnas tadochyate. Who are these people? How they are? Prajahati yada kaman sarvan. All the desires of their hearts are given up. They have no desire left. What about serving the society? What about doing good to the poor and the needy and the underprivileged and the ordinary? No, they don't have a desire for it. Then why are they running the mission? God has ordained. They are not doing because they are desirous of it. They are doing because they are inspired by the divine. And what else they do? All desires are done. Do they need to attain God, be in the company of God, always sit in Vaikunta, enjoy Vishnu? Nothing. None of these desires are there in them. Then why are they even existing? Like some journalist went to a man who has lived 100 years and asked, what is the secret of you living so long? He said, I don't smoke, I never engaged with women, and I never had alcohol, I never participated in gambling and such activities. Then the journalist said, why did you live for 100 years? Because that is how the people think of the spiritual people. What life is, what a boring life it is. Get a life, man. They tell him like that. But the spiritualists are, what are you talking? You are running behind all those mirages like a fool, and you are thinking you can advise me better. But they don't advise these fools, because I told you don't advise fools. Don't argue with fools, because they are very good at arguing. They are masters. They will drag you to their level and beat you with their experience. So don't engage with fools. When they say you are wasting your time, yes, I know, just keep quiet. How does it matter? How does it matter? Wasting your time arguing with people who don't understand. The worldly people will come and argue. Why are you studying in that institute? You will become a sannyasi. This happened, that happened. All these relatives and neighbors. I know. I will soon quit the institution. Thank you for the advice. You tell and walk away. Instead of sitting there and spending an hour arguing how great is our institution, how great is our Swami, don't waste your time. Just leave the place. In fact, make them feel good that they have won by saying, great advice. I am going back and resigning. They'll feel very, very happy. Finally, I have saved one person from falling into the ditch. Avoid such people. So these people they have given up all the desires of life, including the desire to argue with somebody and win over an argument. Not required. Atheists are there. Don't believe God exists. Leave it to them. What's the point of you going and hammering them? No, you have to believe God exists. Earlier, a lot of people were there. Especially devotees. They would go, Sathya Sai Baba is God. Believe it. The others will say, I don't believe that your Sathya Sai Baba is God. You must believe it. If you don't believe it, that's it. This is the end of our friendships. People are there like that, very, very hyper. Network marketing people, have you ever met any of them? Because I have worked earlier, so many people used to approach. Can you become a part of our network marketing? What will happen? Platinum, diamond, silver, something and all, you will get those status. And then you can make this, you can make that, they'll go on talking. Like that, these people who are fanatics, They go on talking about their God continuously. And they believe everybody should believe in their God. It doesn't happen. Once I said like that, then Bhagavan told, problem is everybody thinks Sai Baba is God. But the truth is God is Sai Baba. God was, God is, and God will be. Today in the form of Sai Baba, tomorrow in some other form. Putting the cart before the horse by saying Sai Baba is God is the problem. Rather say God is Sai Baba. God was so many things. Krishna, Rama, Jesus, Buddha, Allah, all. Now he is Sai Baba. That's a very right way of presenting it. But no, our people will fight. No, I know that is true, but Sai Baba only is God at the end. What's the point in fighting with them? Just do namaste with them. Thank you very much for enlightening me, and leave the place. Those who argue with you. Why that desire? So these people have given up all desires, including the desire to redeem the world. That is also not their desire. If they are made to do that, God has ordained it, they will happily instrument it. But not out of their desire to do it. So prajahati yada kaman sarva parthan manogatan atmanyeva atmana tushta. They are happy within themselves. They don't need anything to be happy. They don't need anyone to be happy. They are not dependent on any external thing for their internal happiness. No, they are free. Because desires are the reason why we become dependents. If you have no desire, we are independent. Any little desire also makes us dependent on somebody or something, some situation, some incident, some person, some idea, some outcome. All this is the problem. Desireless people have no dependencies. They are free. They are happy. Like children in the cradle, you see, they giggle to themselves, they laugh to themselves, and they sleep off on their own, laughing. How does it happen to them? Because they have no desire. They are very pure. These babies, infants. That kind of mind, if somebody has who has no desire, such a free life, such a happy life. But no, we have some desire. If nothing else, we'll say we have good desires to attain God, to attain the self, attain moksha, to do service to the poor. But the very fact that all that is a desire, it becomes an obstruction in the very path which you are taking. You don't do service because you want to do service. You do service because service needs to be done. You don't realize God because you want to realize God. You must realize God because God is to be realized. You don't read scriptures because you want to read the scriptures. You must read the scriptures because scriptures are to be read. You must be kind to the people. You must be nice to the people. For that sake, be like that. Not for the sake of gathering friends and relations. Not for that sake. That is the idea of this Ashtavakra. He destroys, dismantles, disrupts all the previous ideas of spirituality, sadhana, including this desire for moksha itself is your obstacle. Don't bother. That is why even Kathopanishad says, Sada yada sarve pramuchyante kamaya asya hridi shritaha athamartyo amruto bhavati atra brahma samushnate. If all the desires are done in your heart, then and there you become Brahman. When there are no desires, you are Brahman. Desire is non-Brahman state. God plus desire is equal to man was Bhagavan's equation. Man minus desire is equal to God. Very simple. This is a Brahma Vakya, Veda Vakya. Man minus desire is equal to God. How simple. The same thought here. Unless you give up all the desires of your heart, whatever you do, bhoga, karma, samadhi, none of this is going to last. Giving up desire is very important, and sometimes we feel, is it as simple as that? Is it as straight as this? Yes, it is. Spirituality is the simplest subject on earth, and God is the simplest truth. It cannot be further simplified. Truth is simple, spirituality is simple, that is why. What is not truth is complicated because you know 100 things to justify why it is correct. This needs no justification. So this is the idea. Give up desires, that is the end of all your struggles. That is the beginning of your samadhi. So how can you do that? As I said, immediately you cannot do that because you have entangled yourself. So step by step by step. Shanaihi, shanaihi, uparamed. Slowly, slowly withdraw. Suddenly you cannot withdraw. Slowly, slowly, slowly withdraw. If you don't do that, even if little desire is left, you will be born again to fulfill that. And during that process, you may develop many more desires. Jada Bharata story we know. So desire is the reason. Get rid of desire, you get rid of this idea of being the body, and that's how you will be able to forget your all thoughts and emotions and memories, and you can abide in the pure consciousness. That is the method. Third shloka, 265 page number. Very beautiful. It says, Ayasat sakalo dukhi nainam janati kaschana anenaivopadeshena dhanya prapnoti nivrittim. Ayat sakalo dukhihi. The person is sad when he is feeling the effort and burden in whatever he is doing. Go to the office, ayyo, Monday morning was Monday blues, again I have to drag myself to the office. He is doing things which he does not want to do, he suffers. Ayasa. Ayasa means some kind of burden or drudgery and some kind of effort and hardship. Sakalaha, in everything. He is always sad, dukhi. Because he does not know this truth. Which truth? Desireless life. Forgetful life. He does not know that truth. So he suffers. Whatever he does, it's a burden for him. Even seva is a burden for such a person. Because he is doing it with a desire. When he is desirous, then he is waiting for the outcome. Did anybody notice that I did this seva? Why I was not given Pada Namaskar? Because I was the leader of the Seva Dal. All kinds of nonsense starts after that. I am the biggest donor. Why am I not given attention here? Why I didn't get this, I didn't get that. So, ayasat, it becomes a burden, drudgery. Why? Because you are involved in it, you are attached to it, you are desirous of things. And such a person does not understand this truth, he doesn't know this truth. But anenaiva upadeshena dhanyaha. But the other people, when they are spoken about this idea, be forgetful, be desireless, dhanyaha, they are fulfilled, they are blessed. Prapnoti, they immediately attain what? Nivrittim, complete detachment. They immediately detach themselves. So they work, not that they don't work, but they understand how to work. Work is not the reason why they go to work. They go to work because they are ordained to, they are destined to, they are divinely decided to do. Nothing because of they want to do or they don't want to do. That is why sometimes I see a lot of people are so super active. Seva is also, 2 hours they will sleep but they will do seva whole day. Tired, and they will be feeling so happy. Yes, there is some satisfaction in doing that seva, but that is not pure joy. Because in that joy there is a little contamination that I did it for God. That I did it for God is definitely purer than I did it for myself or I did it for people. But still it is not the purest, it is not the perfect distilled purest conscious joy. It is still a little impurity is there. But those who just carry out what needs to be done as a part of the divine plan and feel no doership, no desire in it, they are blessed, he says. Dhanyaha. Because once you tell them this is how you should live, they get it like this. Because they are dry wood. It catches fire like this. They are ready. Such people you should be. Janaka, he is explaining such people exist. Otherwise, work becomes burden for others. That's why Bhagavan used to say, where there is prema, there cannot be shrama. Where there is shrama, there is no prema. Prema means love. Shrama means effort. When you have love, you don't feel the effort in your works. It happens through you. You joyfully do it. But when there is an effort, a burden, a sense of hard work, not hard work exactly, but a burdenful work, burdensome work, then you know that you are not doing it with pure love. There is a desire hiding somewhere in the corner, camouflaging itself as pure love, but it is not so. That beauty of work which is done without any desire, that joy of it, only few people know. Most don't know, though they think they know. Many people write, I'm working so hard for you, I don't have no time to attend to your discourses, lectures, nothing, and this, that, but I am very joyful and peaceful. When I ask them, you investigate the kind of joy that you are experiencing. Then you realize slowly that I am experiencing this joy because I am doing this. It's not the purest joy. It is a joy. It's definitely of a higher quality. But it is not the purest joy which comes from non-doership. It doesn't. So this idea itself to be rejected, he says, Ashtavakra. He's getting tougher and tougher because he is very clear that if you want to enjoy that self, abide in the self, everything else have to be given up. Nothing else you can hold on to. Everything else is to be given up. When we are in the flights and they are doing demonstrations for safety, what do they say? The moment if you get the signal, evacuate, open the emergency window and jump. Don't carry your shoes and phones and bags and nothing is allowed. Just jump, leave everything behind. Because not only you will become a problem for yourself, you will become a problem for others too. They say remove your shoes, high-heeled sandals, leave your bags, phones, everything behind. Don't carry anything. The only goal is to save yourself and others. How quickly you evacuate, that better it is. Like this is world, from you want to escape this world and attain God, the urgency of it should be like evacuating a plane which is having an emergency landing. Run, forget everything. Can I carry this? Just now they served tea and biscuit. Can I finish and come? No. I paid for it. Okay, but you will not live enough to enjoy it. Not only you won't live, you will not let others also live by not going fast. So give up everything because that is the urgency. Where is the question of you waiting for something else? Just jump. This is your call. So don't wait. See, God does not knock twice, they say. God does not knock twice. If He knocks at your door once, open the door. Don't wait for another day. It will never happen. It may never happen. Therefore, be ready all the time, waiting for that knock to happen. Whole life is to prepare ourselves to be ready for that one moment when there will be a knock on our door, God would come and we would become one. Waiting for that moment, like Chataka bird, is all life sadhana. And he won't come again. He will walk away, go to knock another door. And you might have missed your opportunity. So always be ready. All our life is just waiting for God, like Shabari. Preparing and waiting. Which day it will happen, nobody knows. Will it happen sooner for earlier to you and later to others? Why worry? Why bother? Anyway, Ashtavakra says, don't carry any thoughts in your heart. Where is the comparison? One day when I was learning music as a small boy, I was learning something and I was a little more probably smart, so I had picked up a few tunes on my own on the harmonium. So one of my classmates was there. He came once home and his mother also used to come to learn music in the same class. But I was playing so many songs. His mother was never playing all these things. She was just playing the same thing what teachers were teaching. He looked at all these things and he went and told his mother, Amma, how much you are paying? Same thing that fellow is also paying to the teacher, but the teacher is teaching him more than you. He knows so many more tunes than you. You hardly can play 2 tunes. He's playing whatever I tell him, he plays in the harmonium. So the mother got very furious. She went and complained to the teacher. Why are you teaching him more than me? My son says that he knows much more than me. What will the teacher tell to such a person? It's not that I am teaching him more, he is learning more. Because he is more sincere, he is more intelligent, whichever way. Then my teacher called me and told, come here. When I went, took me in the other room and told me, even if you know things, don't share with others. Because they will become jealous and they ask questions like this. They are now suspecting that I teach you more and I teach her less. So don't tell anybody about your spiritual progress. Don't compare notes. I always told you. Your spiritual progress is your personal thing. You don't need to go on tom-tomming with a mic and speaker, loudspeaker. You know, today I had attained this, I saw these many colors, that many gods appeared to me, I had these many experiences, I had that many conversations. Don't do that, people will become restless around you. Why go and disturb somebody's peace? Not everybody is going to be happy with everything. Keep it to yourself, I say, and don't go and ask others also. So how far have you reached in your sadhana? What did you experience today? Don't ask. You be it yourself. You enjoy your journey. God is your companion. 2 of you, what else you require? Simply comparing. That's why Ashtavakra says very clearly. But this also is a big nonsense on the spiritual path, that how much have you progressed, how much have I progressed? My Guru loves you more, Guru loves me less. That's why you are progressing faster, I am progressing less. All this is nonsense. Sunlight is same for everyone. Who makes out of it depends on what efforts they put. Somebody plows the field, sows the seed, rains come, light comes, harvest happens. Somebody sleeps through the day, nothing happens. It is not Guru and God, they are impartial. The efforts of the Shishya. So these dhanya, those blessed ones who have prepared themselves, one upadesha to them, one discourse, one preaching is enough on this. They'll get it like that and they become free. Whereas the other ones, for them even spiritual sadhana is a drudgery. Any work is a pain. Why? They are burdened by this doership and attachment to the results. So this is the idea. The best example, again, as I said, is how do you go to sleep? You go to sleep only when you feel no burden. When you try to sleep, then you never get to sleep. You try hard, I want to sleep now. You don't get sleep at all, because the idea that I want to sleep now will not allow you to sleep. You look at 10, or now 10:15, not 10:30, you will not sleep. Why? Because you want to sleep. Whereas if you just go lie down, switch off the lights and just lie down and let the thoughts settle, mind calm down, and without the desire to sleep, you will sleep immediately. When you want to sleep, you don't get sleep. When you just are there, allow that sleep to happen to you. You just prepare yourself. What is the preparation? Wash your feet, face, whatever you do your prayers, apply vibhuti, go and lie down on the bed. Beyond that, what can you do? Switch off the lights, switch on the fan, and just lie down. And some point of time, sleep will happen to you. Likewise, God will happen to you. Self will happen to you. Realization will happen to you if you are not desirous of it like this. Then you trouble yourself with the desire and you suffer. That whole sadhana becomes a burden, ayasa. It's no more a joyful journey. It is full of burden. Don't do that, he's saying to us through Janaka. Don't do that. Just be. Just be. Forget everything else, just be. Just be in that readiness to sleep. Sleep will happen to you. Likewise, just be in the readiness to realize the self. Self will happen to you. When it will happen depends on God. How does it matter, he says? How does it matter? Why you should lose your peace in trying to realize this idea of doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that, including doing sadhana and realizing God, it's the burden. Be free from that also, he's saying. Very, very subtle. You have to really sit and think about what is being said. That how we get worked up, even in the idea of realizing the self. Don't have that. Yes, 100 days will get over, discourses will get over, you might not have realized the self, it is still okay. As long as you are trying to be yourself, the self. And whatever happens, whenever is the right time, it will happen. That let it be God's way. Fourth shloka on 268. It says in similar idea, Vyapare khidyate yastu nimishon mesho yorupi tasyalasya dhurinasya sukham na anyasya kasyachit. A very funny shloka and very interesting too. It says, Vyapare khidyate yastu. Vyapara means activities, transactions of the world. Khidyate, feels burdened by it. Why should I study? Why should I go? Why should I do business? Why should I have a family? Why should I make friends? Why should I earn this? Somebody who feels this is such a burden. And for him, nimeshon mesho yorapi. What is burden? Opening his eyes and closing his eyes also feels like it's such a burden. Who wants to open the eyes and see all this nonsense? Let me close the eyes. They find their opening and closing eyes also is like so burdensome. And what he says, tasya alasya dhurinasya, those epitome of laziness, these people, full of inertia and laziness, sukham na anyasya kaschichit. Nobody else is happier than them, he says. It's a satire, but it's also a subtle hint on how jnanis are mistaken as agyanis. How the men of wisdom are thought of as lazy people in the world. And he's using that worldly people's satire to convey this message that what do you know about their joy, who find it's burdensome to even open and close their eyes. Forget about working in the world. They don't even want to open and close their eyes. They find it's a task. It's a burden, it's an effort. For such lazy people, who else knows their joy? Only they know their joy of how they are. In a worldly parlance, if you think lazy people are there, they don't want to do anything. If they sit in one place, they'll be sitting there. They won't get up from there. One story is there. Two lazy brothers were there. One brother was so thirsty, his throat was drying up. And he said that, please, get me some water to drink. The other fellow is saying that, you are asking me to get water for you. There is a fly sitting on my nose for the last 10 minutes. I haven't shooed it away because that's an effort. I am not ready to put. Lazy people are like that. They'll find excuses not to do anything. Jnanis seem to be like this. They find excuses not to engage with the world. Somebody may come and give them lot of business ideas. You know, you do this, next this will happen, you will become a billionaire, then you can buy a yacht, you can buy a bungalow, you can buy an island, nice, good ideas, but I'm not interested. How can you not be interested? The, the fools will ask, how can you not be interested in this? You better be interested. He said, no, I'm not interested. Who will do all these things? Unnecessary. What do you mean? In life we must progress. Our balance sheet should grow. Our wealth should grow. That is how you are successful in life. All right, but I am not interested. These people are like that. They appear to be so lazy that even to close and open their eyes, they find it is a task. Who? These jnanis, they're lost in themselves. Why should they open their eyes? If they open their eyes, what are they going to see, you tell me? This nonsense of the world, people are running behind silly things, fighting with each other for silly things, and driving themselves crazy to achieve something which is not even true. This is what they are going to see, all the violence and disharmony and nonsense going on. Why should they open their eyes and see? They find it difficult to open their eyes and see even these things. It means it's a way of saying that jnanis are like that, who find it very burdensome to engage with these worldly transactions, worldly activities. Why should I do, they think. And they may be thought of as very lazy people, but they are not lazy. They are not acting in the world because they find it meaningless, useless. Why should I? That is the idea. There was a story that one fisherman was there. He was happily finished. All fishermen go to the sea very early in the morning, you know that. Because that is when they catch maximum fish. Then they bring and sell it in the market. And then they have a whole day to relax. So this man had finished his morning chores. And he was lying under a nice coconut tree and relaxing, taking a siesta. Just then another businessman came. He said, what are you doing? He said, I am relaxing. Why? You don't have work to do? He said, I finished my work. What did you do? I went fishing in the morning. I sold all the fish. I am done for the day. But still there is a lot of day left ahead you. Why don't you use that to do more? What should I do? Go again. Go on the second round of fishing. What will happen? You will get more fish. So sell that fish. Then you will get money. With that, you buy a new boat. Now employ one more person. You can fish more. And then we'll have more fish. Then you can sell that. And then buy more nets. One more boat. Then you will have a whole army of people, fishermen working for you, and so many boats, and so much fish, and so much more money. Okay, then he says, then you can retire early, and after that you can relax. He said, that is what I am doing right now. Why should I go through this much process and then come and relax under the coconut tree? I am doing right away. I do only as much as needed. And rest of the time I am happy, relaxing. Why should I drive myself crazy like you, hoping to retire at some point in time with so much of wealth only to lie under a coconut tree? Isn't it? Why should I work so hard? That is why Bharadana Upanishad says, Atmanam ched vijaniyat ayam asmiti it purushaha kimachan kasya kamaya shariram anusanjaret. Once one realizes that he is the self, Atmanam, Chet Vijaniyat, if he comes to know that he is the divine, he is the self. Then he says, Atmanam Chet Vijaniyat, Ayam Asmi iti Purusha, I am that self, I am none other than the self. Once who realizes that, Kimichan, Kasya Kamaya, for what desire, for what wish, Shariram Anusvanjaret, should he put his body through tortures? What are people doing, you tell, in the world? They wake up at crazy hours, catch the train, go to the work, then work till the night, then catch another train, come back, hardly sleep in the house that they have bought with the EMIs. They're mostly in the public transport or in the car or in the traffic, eating food bought from cheap places, in the sense not a good quality, nutritious food, working, slogging like a donkey whole day. What do they attain at the end of it? That's some false sense of security. That's all they attain. I was in the US, I keep telling this story often. Somebody who has 8 or 10 bedroom house in a poshest locality. He bought it for millions of dollars. How many people live? Only he, because his son also is now left, gone to study or whatever. He has a very nice infinity pool and all that stuff, very beautiful view. Then I asked, these many rooms are there, how many rooms do you live in? He says, this is my bedroom, this one room is where I live. Well, what about all those other rooms unnecessary? He said, no, in this locality only this size bungalows are there, nothing smaller than that. So we have to buy this. How much did you buy for? These many millions of dollars. And how do you pay? I have taken a bank loan and then I work and I pay the EMIs. How long do you work? Daily I work for 12 hours, proudly he's telling. In traffic of Bay Area, go and come, that itself is like 2 hours, 3 hours every day. Then work in a cubicle like office, small one. hardly 10 by 10 feet. How many hours? 10 hours of the day is sitting in the 10 by 10 feet cubicle to pay the EMI for an 8-bedroom house, out of which he uses only 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom, and never has time to even dip into the pool, but he is paying left, right, center that EMI. I asked him, what is this stupidity? No, this is why when I retire, I don't know whether you will ever reach retirement also. With the kind of stress you are taking, you might fall sick and die early. What is the point? But people are like that. They want to keep doing something in the name of achieving something. Ashtavakra says, what are you achieving? What are you achieving by doing all this? Rather not do these things. Why do these things which are not necessary? Why waste your time? Instead, abide in the self and be happy, like these lazy people who seem to do nothing, who find it so difficult and burdensome to even open and close their eyes. They find that is a task. Be like them, he's telling to Janaka. Not physically be like them, mentally, internally be like them, who find work as a burden, not as joy. Why? Because this is done for some stupid selfish purpose. Even if it's selfless purpose, if it is done with this doership, even then it is a burden. Why do it? Rather not do it, he is saying. But that's not the path. You say, oh, so that is the right way. I will not do anything because I feel doership, I feel burdenship. But he says, no, the one who opens and closes his eyes also is working. Are you not opening and closing your eyes? Even if you don't go to work in this hospital or school or college and do service, or you don't want to engage in worldly things, you have withdrawn from everything, sitting in your room. But even to open and close your eyes, is that not work? It is also work, he says. Because you are identifying yourself with the body. The moment you identify with the body, anything that happens to the body is work. And the work binds you. So the idea of forgetting that you are the body and mind is the central idea of this chapter. Because the moment you think you are the body and mind, you will be burdened by the efforts of doing something. And even if you think you are not doing anything, very idea that you are opening and closing your eyes also means you are working in this world. Because you are attached to yourself. So these people are like that, who are not interested in these worldly works. They are happy with their lot. They don't want to go on expanding their territories. They don't need to. They are joyful. If God wills so be it. Arjuna suddenly said on the battlefield, I don't feel like fighting this battle. Why should I have their blood on my hand? They are after all my kith and kin. I will forgive them. I will beg and eat. That was not real detachment. That was not real realization of the self. It was momentary dispassion because of disgust for certain things, what we call as virakti. It was not vairagya. So Krishna says, oh Arjuna, stop it. You are a Kshatriya. Your blood is that of Kshatriya. You can't sit 1 minute in one place. All these which you are talking like a sannyasi doesn't suit you because it is not your aptitude. And while you say you will not engage in this war, I know after going back you will still fight with somebody somewhere. Because you are Kshatriya, you are born like that. Guna guneshu vartanta. All your gunas will push you to do that. Like Ramakrishna says to Vivekananda, what are you telling? You don't want to go and preach. Even your bones will preach, he says. Because you are born to do that. You are meant to do that. So we are bound. We are bound by our actions. This man who has realized the self, he says, why should I act? What is the need for it? No, you will get this, you will get that. I don't need anything. I don't want anything. Keep it to yourself. Don't try to tempt me. It doesn't attract me at all. These people are very free. But still they are active only when they are divinely ordained to be active. Otherwise they just hang their boots and lie low. When God calls them, come, then they pick their boots and start. This is not to be taken as those who are actually lazy and don't do any work. They are not doing work out of laziness. These people are not doing out of wisdom, that there is no point in doing all this nonsense. Why should you struggle and torture yourself to attain what? That is the idea. So these people are like that. In Doha is there Kabirji's Doha, Kaal kare so aaj kare so ab, pal mein parlay hogi, bahuri karega kab. Or whatever he needs to do it now, he says. Don't postpone. Lazy people's first quality is procrastination. आज करे सो काल करे सो परसों, इतनी जल्दी क्या है, जीना है अभी बरसों. That is the anti-Kabir Das Doha. Lazy people say, what's the big deal? Tomorrow we will do it. Then tomorrow comes, I told you I will do tomorrow, so tomorrow I will do it. When tomorrow comes, I told you tomorrow, I will do tomorrow. Then tomorrow never comes. Because they never do things. That is the other. Procrastination is the sign of laziness. Postponement. So what can you postpone? Unnecessary works which are not going to be useful to you on your spiritual path, postpone them. Bhagavan used to say, when a good thought comes, execute it then and there. When a bad thought comes, postpone it till it dies a natural death. But what we do, when bad thought comes, immediately you execute it. When good thought comes, we will see on a good day, we will get a muhurtam from a pujari, and then we will decide when to start the work. A bad thought, we don't go and ask for muhurtas, right? So he used to say, do it the other way around. Postpone a wrong thought and avoid, delay till it dies. And when a good thought comes, don't delay at all because it may die very soon. Immediately execute it, he says. So these lazy people are what? Worldly people are who are also lazy, but they are lazy towards their spiritual work. Oh, I have to pray to God, is it? Oh, today I have a meeting, and I have to leave early. I have a conference call at this time. God is there, He'll adjust. I'll come back in the evening and pray. That is how they are. They postpone their prayers, they postpone their rituals, they postpone studies, satsangs. But work, if some new business idea is coming, they won't even sleep. They will run to achieve it. That time they are not lazy. But on spiritual side, they are very lazy. Whereas spiritual people are how? They are very interested in spiritual things. They won't mind staying up all night for Shivratri and performing prayers, rituals. But tell them there is a business deal. We will see, if I have time, I will come. No, what are you so busy with? I am going to that temple, I am going to do some annadanam. After that, if I have time, I will come for the business. This is the other way around, these people. You should go to these highly business-minded people. My God, how they are. I can't sit in front of them for even 1 minute. Their energy is so restless. Continuously. Here also a lot of people come. They think I am a very rich, well-endowed Swamiji, looking at all the things around us. They all misunderstand that. They come. They will tell me, we have come to share a wonderful novel idea which will further your mission, help more poor people, this and that. And they seek my time. Initially, innocently, I used to give time thinking, yes, if they bring some new idea, technology, it will help so many poor. Let me call them. Halfway through the conversation, I realized they have just come to sell their product to me. Real realization of all that is absolutely facades. What they are trying to do, they thought this is a big institution, big money will be there, and these Swamijis and all don't know much about business and negotiations, so we can easily sell him off this product and make money. But once I start speaking, then they start sweating. They realize, my God, he knows everything. He also would have figured it out that I have come here to do business, not to do seva. And that kind of makes them so uncomfortable. I noticed that. Initially, they'll be going on talking, so much of passion about what they have come to share with us, as if they're doing service to us. And I listen, but halfway I figure it out, that they are just trying to sell their product which nobody is buying, and they want to sell it to me because they think we know nothing, we are a Swamijis, and we will just take it as it comes. Then halfway through, I start asking some tough questions, and then they get scared. Then they are never seen again. All the devotion, Swamiji, I have become your disciple, Sashtang Pranam, everything, they never appear again after that. But many of our people around me are very innocent. They take them for, at the face of it, they think really these people have come to help the mission. But they have not come to help the mission, they have come to help themselves. And use the mission to help themselves. So many people come like that. They come with fancy ideas, seemingly very, very useful to the society, but deep under, their only motivation is to make money. So they'll go to God also only to make money. They go up the hill. What do? Swamiji, to God they tell, I'm starting a new business, you are 10% partner in it. 90% they only will keep, 10% just to make sure nothing goes wrong and God will protect them. I tell the story of one fellow who was climbing Tirupati hill. He said, so I will come all the way up, you have to go by step in those days. He said, if I reach and have your darshan, I'll offer 1,000 rupees donation to you. After halfway through, he thought 500 steps, I have already climbed on my own. Why should I give the 500 rupees to God? Only 500 rupees I'll give for the remaining steps. Then after some more time, he thought, I have climbed so many steps, now hardly any steps are left. I will reduce my donation because all these I have achieved by my own efforts after all. And finally, towards the end of the step, he gets very hungry. He has a banana, he opens, eats, throws the peel, slips on it and comes down tumbling all 1,000 steps. People are very selfish. They want to do business with God also. This Vyapara Buddhi. So the spiritual people get frustrated, disgusted with such ideas. What are you coming here to tell me? We can make money, you can make money, everybody can make money. I'm not interested, you go. No, you need money to run this place. You need to do some good businesses. You need to invest in that. I know. I will do it. You don't have to tell and advise me. You go your way. Do what you want. Vyapar khidjate. They get irritated when they listen to these kind of silly ideas of selfish businesses. And they feel even to engage with such people is a waste of time. Why should I waste my time? I rather sit quiet doing nothing than doing stupid things. Like that, these people seem to be very lazy. But they are not lazy. They simply don't want to do things which are not necessary. They are clever. They are actually intelligent. Fifth shloka 272. It says, Idam kritam idam neti dvandair muktam yada manaha dharmartha kama moksheshu nirapeksham tada bhavet. This is to be done, that should not be done. This kind of duality, those who are suffering with this kind of duality, it's about them. So we are told, these are the good things you should do, these are the bad things you should avoid. This is what will give you God, this is what will take you away from God. Yes, this duality is a big problem. Those who are free from this in their minds, also they are free from what? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. I said there are 4 goals of human life. As per our scriptures, they say Dharma, that is to learn how to live righteously. Then Artha, how to earn righteously. Then Kama, how to have righteous desires. And finally, moksha, how to attain freedom or liberation. These are 4 goals of every human being. Male, female, rich, poor, doesn't matter. All have to learn these 4 things. 1, learn about righteousness, dharma. Then, work in the righteous way and earn your wealth. Wealth means name, position, power or material wealth. Then, kama, fulfill righteous desires. Once you have money only, you can fulfill desires. So that but what kind of desires? Not all. Money can lead you to gambling also and lead you to so much of nonsense also. Not those desires, good desires. And then moksha, ultimately attain the ultimate realization. These are the goals of life. And we are all told to follow this. And for that sake, do this and don't do this. So these do's and don'ts and dharma, artha, kama, they are beyond that also. They are beyond that also. Because if you go by the righteous same process, then what will say? Why are you not working? Why are you not earning money? Why are you begging in the streets? Why have you become sannyasi? Why are you not earning your own wealth? People can ask questions like this, like Swami Vivekananda was told. Oh, your young people are becoming lazy in India. You people should work hard. Swamiji kept quiet. Then this businessman kept on going on with his rant. That you people are wasting your time. You people, in the name of sannyasa, you people don't work. You don't earn your money. You're parasites on the society, all kinds of things. He heard all that. But when he got down at the next station, suddenly a man with a basket of food came looking for Vivekananda and told, Swamiji, I have come to feed you. And the businessman was cursing him so far, got surprised. How did it happen? He said, because I got a dream and I slept this afternoon and God told me that a sannyasi is getting down at this station from this train. Go and feed him, he's hungry. So I came to feed him. And then this businessman was shocked. So from the businessman's point of view, everybody should get an education, get an employment, earn their money, not take alms from others and stand on their own feet, all that. These are the ideas. But what is the idea of Swami Vivekananda? He has given up the world. And he is not supposed to earn his own money. He should depend on the society and the charity that comes from it. For the sannyasi, there are no rules. Why this rule? Why sannyasis, I told yesterday, they are roaming naked. If you go to an office undressed, you think they'll accept you. They'll immediately terminate you, saying, what is this? You don't know how to behave. Social code of conduct, dressing, don't know that. They will kick you out. Whereas a sannyasi is free. These rules don't apply. Who can tell them anything you tell? Because he is dependent on nobody. Why do we have to listen to anybody? Why do you have to bend in front of others? Why do you have to stretch your arms and compromise on your freedom? Then you are dependent on others because of a desire. If you have no desire, you are not dependent on anybody. You can be yourself. Who cares? Of course, you will get to eat if people feed you. If they don't feed you, you go starving. But you are okay with that because you don't want to compromise your freedom for that. So these rules of do's and don'ts don't apply to these jnanis. This is for those who are stuck still in the world. Why? Because they are desirous, so they are dependent on the world. These people are independent of the world. Why? Because they have no desires. So these people, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, they already are in moksha sthiti. They are already free. Why they have to become free like this? They don't need to follow this to be free. These people live like that. So he's telling one should reach a state like this where one transcends this idea of doing, not doing, attaining moksha, attaining dharma, attaining kama, artha. They are done with this because they are nirapeksha. They are desireless people. So these all rules do not apply to them. Become like that, he says. Become like that because jnanis live like that. The sixth shloka on 276 page number. Virakto Vishayadveshta Ragi Vishayalolupaha Graha Moksha Vihinastu Na Virakto Na Ragavan. How are these people? Another great quality, he says. See, Viraktaha Vishayadveshta. Those who hate the world means who have developed disgust for the world because they have seen through the falsity of it. They are Viraktaha. They are the people who are detached from the world. And Ragis are who? Ragis are those attached people who are Vishayalolupaha, who are desirous of all these sense objects and pleasures of the world. So two kinds of people exist in the world. One, the detached ones who have developed some kind of disgust for the world. Whatever be the reason. Could be because they have understood it is just a false show, it is an illusion, or it is so terrible, as they say, there is no beauty, there is no joy in it. Why should I go after it? So somehow they have developed, or because of a shock and a setback in life. Whatever be the reason, they have developed detachment from the world. Then there are those who are very desirous of the world, very attached to the world. Two types of people are there. Then he says, Graha moksha vihinastu na virakto na ragavan. How should you be? Graha means to receive, and moksha, graha moksha vihinastu. This idea of receiving or letting go of the attachments. He is free from that. He is already free from the idea of moksha also. Because he is always free. What is there to attain moksha for him? Such a person you become who is neither an attached person nor a detached person, he says. That is very funny. How can you not be one of them? If you are not attached, you should be called as detached person. If you are a detached person, then you should be called as not attached. How can you be not both? Because for these people it doesn't matter. That is the whole idea. If it comes, so be it. If it doesn't come, so be it. They are not trying to run away from things or run towards things. Both do not exist in them. Most of the world is doing that, right? Dukha prapti, sukha nivritti. They want to run away from sorrows and run towards joys. That is the way world operates. These people have no problem whether it is joy or sorrow. How does it matter to them? They are free. Either joy or sorrow is okay with them. Either good or bad is okay with them. Heat or cold is okay with them. Because they have transcended all these ideas of duality. Become like that, he is saying. Right now, whole of our training is run away from bad people, run towards the good people. Run away from bad ideas, run towards the good ideas. Run away from worldly people, run towards the spiritual people. Satsangatve, nissangatvam. This is all gone. All those ideas are also discarded, saying, what is satsanga, what is nissanga? You are free always. How does it matter to you? Believe that you are free, all these won't matter anymore to you. Even if you bhogarato va, yogarato va, sangarato va, sangavina. Adi Shankaracharya says, whether you are engaged in the world, enjoying it, or you are not engaged in the world, detached from it, how does it matter? You are amidst people or you are aloof. How does it matter? Yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati nandati nandatyeva. The one whose heart is filled with that Brahman, that divinity, he is happy in all situations. He is happy in all situations. How does it matter, he says. Where is the question of you running away or running towards? Now don't start applying all these to yourselves, because if you become a Brahmagyani, then all these rules don't apply. But if you have not become a Brahmagyani, rules apply. What are the rules? Stay in the company of right people. Stay away from the company of worldly people. But once you have transcended that, it does not matter to you. Like when you have learning how to drive a car, they will tell you, practice it in an open ground where there is no traffic, because you are not yet good at it. But once you have become good at driving, you can go on to the highway, even in the middle of a lot of traffic, because you are not in control of the car. Likewise, in the beginning you have to have certain do's and don'ts. Why? Because we are not ready, we are not fully mature. But once you become mature, you don't need it. Like a small, Bhagavan used to say, small plant is there, a sapling. We tie a stick to it so that it grows straight. But after it becomes a tree, it doesn't need a stick as a support. Likewise, in the beginning you need support of all these ideas. Once you have transcended all these, you don't need all the supports of the scriptures. So these jnanis have transcended all that. Therefore, they don't need the support. They don't need to run away from bad things or run towards the good things. Those two monks, you remember, one carried the woman and the other carried her in the mind. Couldn't get rid of it. That is the idea. For Jnani, he lifted a woman or a man or a cow or a calf, doesn't matter to him because it's all same for him. But for an Ajnani, all these matters. So don't simply stay in the Ajnana and behave like you become a Jnani. Many people do that. Then you will be in trouble. If you are a Jnani, you know you are a Jnani and you don't have any problem. But if you are not yet a Jnani, you better follow certain rules and regulations. Otherwise, you will get into bigger trouble. The idea of these, as I said, these shlokas sound very, very opposite to all that we have heard so far. But it has to be understood in the right context. A fool may understand it wrongly and give up all the spiritual pursuits, give up the dharma, artha, kama, moksha, give up the idea of detachment and attachment. He'll get into trouble. Only a wise person would know what these shlokas truly mean. And that is the idea, that you should believe that you are the self, forgetting that you are the body and mind. Then you attain a state from where? From that place, everything looks same. Everybody is same. It doesn't matter to you who is young, who is old, who is rich, who is poor, man or woman, a sinner or a saint. Everything becomes one and the same. So, based on your evolution, you must understand these shlokas. That is why I say Ashtavakra is not for everybody. In fact, Sri Ramakrishna used to always keep Ashtavakra Gita with him. He had a book and he was illiterate. He won't be able to read. So he'll ask Swami Vivekananda to read the shlokas and go into bliss and joy and happiness of just contemplating on the meaning. But he would not, if any other person is coming, he'll take the book from Vivekananda and hide it under his bed. He won't show to others. So somebody asked him, what is this special grace on this Vivekananda that you teach him something very secretively, and when anybody else comes into the room, you snatch the book from you and hide it under your bed? What do you do? Then he told Vivekananda, this is Ashtavakra Gita, it's not for everyone. Because there is a great chance of people misunderstanding it. And that can lead to a lot of confusion. But you must learn it. He told Swami Vivekananda, you must learn it, this is for you. Because you will have to, he knew what Swami Vivekananda is going to do in the future. He can't be like the other recluses and monks who don't do anything, they're just meditating whole day and under the tree. That was meant for other disciples. But for Vivekananda, who was already a born Jnani, see, Vivekananda did not know that he's a Jnani. Like Sri Rama did not know he's an avatar. Vasishtha, when he starts teaching him Gita, Vasishtha Gita, then Sri Rama has experiences of the self. He goes into Nirvikalpa Samadhi and doesn't want to engage in the kingdom. He tells, I don't want to be the king. Then Dasharatha gets worried. He goes and tells Vasishtha, what are you doing to my son? He needs to be the king. And then Vasishtha says, but he is a Jnani. He is abiding in the self. How can I pull him out of it? He is enjoying the self. And he is so ready for it. Why should we engage him with worldly things? Then Vishwamitra comes and tells, both of you don't argue. Rama is born for a mission. His purpose is to kill Ravana and establish Dharma. Therefore, he has to give up this Nirvikalpa Samadhi and engage with the world. Then Vasishtha goes like a small bee, enters its nose and disturbs his Samadhi and brings him out of that reverie. That's how Rama comes back to regular life. But once you have experienced that, like once you know how to ride a bicycle, you always know how to ride a bicycle. Likewise, once you know the self, you always know the self, even if you are engaged in the world. So Ramakrishna Paramsa also is like that. He'll go off into Samadhi like that. With the very mention of one shloka of Ashtavakra Gita, he'll just lose himself. Then they had to put rasagulla on his tongue to disturb his Samadhi. Because Bengalis, they can live without breathing, but they can't live without sweets. So they'll put that rasgulla, and then because of the taste, he will come out of his Samadhi, it seems. The typical ways of these Jnanis, how can understand that? Bhrantasya eva dashastas tadrisha eva janate. Only another Jnani knows how these Jnanis, why he behaves like this. But he used to teach Ashtavakra Gita to only Swami Vivekananda, because he wanted him to engage in the world, yet be detached. Whereas he knew all other disciples were also there, but he had given them a different path. But Swami Vivekananda was Ashtavakra path. He had given him that. So this is the beauty of this scripture. And I said not everybody can understand this. I am taking the risk of teaching, risk of you misunderstanding and mismanaging your spirituality. Unless you are Shraddhavan, unless you are very sincere in your spiritual efforts, and as I said, I have prepared you for over many years of teachings. It's not the first time that you are listening to this thing. You have prepared you through Bhagavad Gita, through various Upanishads, through various discourses, and also through seva that you have done for so many years. That has brought you to some level of some eligibility, deservedness of this knowledge. But at the same time, don't misunderstand it, misinterpret it, because that can lead to a lot of disaster. Suddenly you will feel like not going to office tomorrow. Why? Alasya Dhuriyinasya. I am the embodiment of laziness as per Ashtavakra. What's the point in doing Vyapara Khijjate? I don't like working at all. Opening my eyes and closing my eyes also is very difficult. Not because you are in Samadhi, because you are lazy, you are sleepy. I see some people in the class, no, before they'll be so sleepy. They'll be falling front, back, side, all directions. Unable to open and close their eyes. But that is not because they have realized Ashtavakra Gita. That is because they are real lazy people or they are sleepy. So don't misunderstand it. It only means you will engage with the world as is necessary, to the extent it is necessary, as it is divinely inspired, not by your own volition, not by your own desire. That is why you will be ever free even though you are very engaged. That Mundaka Upanishad's idea, that who is the Brahmavida, who is the Brahmavidam Varishtam, who is the best of the Brahmavida, Atma Krida, Atmarati, Kriyavan. They are happily enjoying the self. They open their eyes, they see the self, enjoy it. Close their eyes, they lose themselves and enjoy it. And still be active in the world. That is the real Jnani. That is what Ashtavakra Gita is also talking about.